I'll give it again. I'm planning on playing it. This is basically I wanted this to hold me over till Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and I mean, obviously it won't last that long, but I'm hoping to enjoy it for what it is. So it does a lot of things quite well, but Dungeons and Dragons is a large and complex thing, so it's always not quite perfect. Like some of the control spells are missing and stuff, and it's like, why do you want to be a wizard if you can't? And like again, a lot of like the OP stuff, because the content that like if I want a class that gets plus a race that has a bunch of strength, they don't fucking exist. But don't worry, you can reroll infinitely for stats, so you don't need that +2 strength. So, Suitor, why were you asking about Paladin?
I am playing in a campaign with a friend, and I am playing a Vengeance Paladin.
Fair enough. That seems reasonable.
I've actually never played a martial character, so I'm kind of excited.
Paladins aren't marshals; they're buff bots. You stand within 10 yards of everybody and make them so they don't fail the saving throw. I guess you have to be a marshal for the first 5 levels. Also, on the topic of using like a spear versus two-hand weapon, like the great weapon fighting style is awful, but the dueling fighting style is good. So like you combine all that together, so you get like the dueling fighting style plus the Polar Master offhand attack plus the Polar Master reaction attacks, etc. So all the more reason not to use a two-handed weapon unless you're like a barbarian. You want to be a half-orc barbarian using a great axe, fine, but for paladin, you're usually better off just going spear and shield.
I haven't decided what fighting style I'm gonna go yet.
I mean, they've added a bunch of new ones, but like in like the basics, either dueling or like the +1. I think there's one for +1 armor. Is that a thing? I think those are the two best.
There's defense. I think defense is the best. It's also the boringest, but it is in many ways the best. I mean, if you qualify for dueling, it's just also that's what +2 damage or something.
Yeah, +2 damage.
Yeah, but you have to not use a shield or
no, it's no weapon in your offhand, so it does work with the shield.
It does work with the shield. Okay.
Those are the only two I would seriously consider. Like they added a new one in I think Tasha's that's all right, but you'd want to like train out of it at like medium levels. I think it like reduces the damage by your proficiency bonus or some shit, and when an ally's attacked, so it's okay for protecting your allies at low levels, but eventually it becomes basically worthless, and you want to replace it with something. I do think the +1 armor is probably the safest bet, but if you just want to hurt things, then +2 damage on all your swings is pretty solid. And again, with Polar Master and Spear, you should be getting multiple swings a turn, so that +2 goes up to like 4 or 6 if you're rolling well. So
right.
So anyone know if Knight's alive?
I mean, we're still waiting for my dinner. That said, I do not know if she's alive. You can use this opportunity to browse through some Dungeons and Dragons memes I posted the other day. This the one with the wizard hat on the guy when the DM asks for 20 hits. That one spoke to me. Because Scooter totally does that shit.
I particularly like the last one.
I've had that experience as well as a DM. It's like I think George just said something like that to me one time, and I'm like, I'm just doing my best here, man.
I don't think I've really had that in this campaign too much.
I feel like
yet.
you are much better at voices than I am, for sure.
Well, thank you.
Maybe not better at like I don't. Well, yeah, no, your voices are better. I'll just leave it at that. Not to say I haven't run into some situations where the characters act in ways that I find infuriating and perhaps not realistic, but like that happens. Jimmy's had complaints before about mine, so I can't really say anything. I'm gonna go AFK and see if going up and looking out the window will make my food magically appear. So good news, my food arrived.
So looking out the window did help.
Technically, as soon as I took off my headphones to like go stand up, I heard them drive into pull into the drive. Really, I'm just like,
So I was testing pulling my token onto the map. I appeared to be tiny sized.
Everybody is. If you're. Oh wait, no, that's really tiny size.
Yeah, like I went and saw it. Like the map is still a 5-foot grid, but I was just a smaller portion of the 5-foot or subgrid, whatever, than I expected.
It should be a quarter because it's a 10-foot grid.
I mean,
well,
there's like that
map in Roll20
subgrid
is
on, but
5,
yeah. Okay. I was smaller than I expected. Is all I'm saying.
That is why. That's weird.
side effect of reincarnation.
Damn it! Here I thought I had gotten taller.
You're actually a tiny half elf. That is, I don't understand why that's happening. Because I just saved the token that you currently have.
Huh.
Maybe.
So I don't want to. But there's a bunch of tokens in the lower right hand corner. I hope those aren't enemies.
You didn't see anything.
I assume they're just the townspeople or whatever, but
I don't know what's going wrong with this. Is there a way to like manually edit how big the token is? Like without just clicking and dragging?
Not that I know of.
I would make it the size you want to, and then set it as the default token again for the.
I did that.
And I'm defaulting small.
Literally just did that again.
And then I would make sure like you close all the windows and stuff.
I did that as well. Anyway, the people down on the bottom right and everything, those are all just tribesmen. I just didn't feel like going around and placing them in the camp. All right, I'm just gonna remove the default token, save the changes, close out of the character sheet, reopen it.
Yeah, now I'm getting the default picture as a token. So that definitely worked.
What the fuck? I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna go to a map that is a 5 foot. Well, I guess this is
This
still
is a
fine.
5-foot grid.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't know.
I want to make sure like there's not like a size thing I somehow set. But I don't think size was ever part of character sheet.
Well, even then, it shouldn't matter because I assigned the token to the character sheet and not vice versa.
Yeah, when there wasn't a token assigned and I dragged the character out, right, I got a medium-sized token, like a 5x5.
So Raven, what have you been up to?
You know, playing a little bit of that old Knockout City game, if you've seen anything on it.
That the one where like people roll into balls and get thrown by their teammates?
Yes, it is just it's dodgeball in a city map.
Not played it, but I saw like 10 seconds of somebody else playing.
I something I just enjoy for some reason.
I've heard good things.
It's actually got a nice variety of like tactics, I guess you would say. Throwing techniques maybe would be the more applicable word, because you can you obviously when you have the ball in your hand, you can like immediately throw it at an enemy. You don't have to worry about really aiming. It auto locks onto people for you, which for the most part is not annoying. It only really becomes an issue if like two enemies are next to each other and you want to target a certain one, then it's kind of a pain, but that normally doesn't happen. But like you can charge for like a fastball, or you can throw it immediately, and generally it's like a slow ball. And then you can do curves, and I don't remember what the other one is called. I think it's like I'm not sure what they call it, but it's an overhead throw. So you got overhead, and then you can do curveballs to left or right, and then you can also just fake throw. Which gives a good amount of depth, so you're not just like, oh, throw just super easy guessing to catch the ball when it gets thrown at you. You can actually have some variety.
Some Yomi.
The special balls that they have, like every game, it rolls through a selection of special type balls. So you can have like a cage ball or a sniper ball or a multi-ball. And the sniper ball is literally just a football, and you full charge it, it goes flying like Mach 2. So like if you don't press the dodge or the grab button before they throw the ball, you're probably not going to catch it. That's how fast it goes.
I think the one I watched, they were playing in the mode where it was like 3v3 or something like that, and there were no balls. You just had to throw your teammates.
Yeah. That one's that one's 4v4, but yes. It's literally I forget what that one's called, but yeah, it's literally just you ball yourselves up and throw each other around. That one's pretty fun. I mainly do the normal one, but I did do a bit of that just so I could do the contracts for it. Because you get quite a bit of XP for like ranking up on the contracts, so throwing people as opposed to throwing balls is actually pretty OP because it one shots always. Like a normal ball throw only does 1 heart of damage, and you have 2 hearts. But if you throw a person, always does 2 hearts. The downside is if you're near a ledge and the person catches your teammate, they're just gonna fucking chunk them off the map if they know what they're doing, which is kind of hilarious. Like that was like one of the funnier things whenever I play that is just catch them and then literally throw their teammate to the depths of hell. It does seem to have like some minor connective issues, which I mean the game did just come out, so I'm not like super surprised. But occasionally you'll get into a game and one of your teammates will just be standing there for like an extra minute before they connect in.
All right, Jimmy, it has to be something with your character sheet because I just
Yeah, I
redid
see
it.
that.
Now I just did it with the Lulu token, and it's still showing up tiny as soon as I attach it to your character sheet and then pull it out.
Cursed. I have no clue.
Should have died for real, Jimmy.
So let's see if we can find it.
What you gotta do is give Jimmy a new character sheet, have him then make the token the default to that one, see if it's still small. So now that I have food, I am a little concerned about Knight's attendance.
Yeah, we haven't heard from her.
She's usually pretty good about it. Well, I mean,
Saying
I
she's
guess
gonna
you
be late.
guys, yeah.
She's terrible at
Technically.
showing up on time. She's okay about saying, "Hey, I'm going to be late."
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do it on a map that like a just a new
Sure, like a
page
standard. Like,
that does it. Yeah.
I looked through every attribute on the attributes tab, and nothing seems like it would affect it. But I
That's one of
don't
the roll
know.
20 pages for the module, so maybe they like fucked something up, which is pretty standard. So
Did you try like clicking on a token suture and like going into like the right click settings or whatever and see if there's some setting in there like on the
yeah,
token
I
itself?
looked through everything.
You know, you can take the dwarf Goliath out of the half elf, but you can't take the no. Wait. What I'm saying is Jimmy's short.
Can't escape it. Doomed to be.
Doesn't matter which race you roll as, you'll never be any taller. You can only get smaller.
Success.
Hey, you did it. I'm normal sized again.
So it's just some weird page setting that they fucked up.
I mean, I don't have this problem.
Right, but I didn't create your token on this map. Well, should we? We'll give her until 7:30. If we don't hear from her, we'll start.
But that's breaking the rule.
That was my rule, not his.
Oh, okay. That means we can get her killed as well as getting George killed? We can kill 2 PCs today?
Yeah, I suppose so.
The deaths can only go up from here. I mean, 3 of us almost died last time. Technically, you did die. Only more death can come.
Yeah, you know, my temp aura, temp HP aura is better when there's more targets to give temp HP to. The other downside is I think someone else is going to have to do the introduction, unless it was Raven's turn.
No, I did mine. No, not last week, the week before that. But I suppose that doesn't really matter at this point. There's only 3 of us.
But I did mine last week, which means it's cycled back to you already, lackeys.
That's what I was afraid of.
Sometimes I just get bored and roll stats. This
You know
is
what
probably
game good for
why I'm
that?
so good at
Celeste,
this.
though, is good for that. You can just reroll stats over and over again.
I think it's in an actual game. I get this problem where like I get locked into the rhythm of hitting the reroll button, and then you roll past the one you want, and you're like, son of a bitch.
So what I did when I was re-rolling is like they put them in order from highest to lowest. So like I would look at like the 5th stat, and I'm like, if this stat ever rolls over like a 15, I know I got to go to red. And then you just you only look at the one number. You just click repeatedly. Not that everyone.
But you
likes
still
that,
get into a problem where you get into the rhythm of constantly, clicking every half second, and then like you go, oh shit, I missed it. Fuck. I don't know. Back in the day when you had to roll stats in MapleStory, this was a problem for me. This is like the last time I distinctly remember it being a problem. It was like 15 years ago, so maybe it's not a thing anymore. Like maybe I was just really stupid 15 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a problem with this in both Baldur's Gate 2 and Slayer on the 3DO. Both of them were Dungeons and Dragons games where you could roll for stats. Slayer was probably worse because I think it just destroyed 3d6 for rolling, so you had to sort of and like you couldn't even pick Paladin unless you had like the 15 charisma, whereas like Baldur's Gate would just give you 15 in charisma.
I haven't rolled an 18 in some time. This is going to be 2 18s. 1.7, close enough.
Good, right? All right, so it is 7:30. We have a choice to make here. I don't want to hold you guys prisoner. We are missing 2 people. Do you guys want to continue as planned into the maw of the beast, as they say, or do we just want to see you again next week?
So my default when I'm GMing is to say if there's 2 people gone, like we'll just call it. And I think as a player that I still, that's still my opinion, although I will play if everyone else will play.
Alright, based on the fact that we're all here already, I think I'm slightly in favor of playing. At least like to the point where the fact that we're missing so many people makes it unplayable. Like if we're gonna have like a boss encounter or something, like alright, we'll pick up.
Like we have a bunch of like story and shit going on here. Like we're gonna just walk to the elephant ship or whatever, which is like, I don't want to say it's George's quest line, but like George's the one most invested in it, So like we could do like the little bit of walking to get to where we're going, but like once they're there, I would rather just have the people there who are invested in it.
A fair point.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You guys are not that far away from the ship, so I mean that is at that point we might as well not play, which is fine. But if your guys' plan is to wake up in the morning, leave the camp, and head to the ship, there might be a random encounter depending on the dice, but that's about it.
What is Raven's opinion?
I feel like we would handicap ourselves somewhat. At least, I don't know, it seems like we would if we like continued, because we would be going to that ship, I feel like. And then there'd just be 3 of us.
I mean, presumably if Raven, or not if Suture had like a random encounter along the way, he would not choose the one that would murder 3 but not 5 of us.
It's called random for a reason, Jimmy.
And also, it is. I mean, I guess technically it would have happened regardless. Had Knight been here, we were probably still heading to the ship. But it is technically George's thing. But like I said, that's slightly irrelevant because I feel like we would have done it regardless if Knight had have shown up. But I'm not opposed to not playing since we're missing 2.
All right. Well, we will call it. We will see you again next week. Hopefully, Knight is not dead. She's probably sleeping.
It feels bad, and it irks me to a significant degree that people can't say, "Hey, I'm going to be late," or "I'm not showing up," or whatever. Like no, like George is fine. Knight kind of pissed me off.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, we knew George was missing, and I mean, he gave us like a week's heads up, and like, cool, I get it.
Like Knight just an hour ago, "Hey, I'm taking out a nap. Might be an hour late or whatever." I'd be like,
yeah.
Whatever, and then we could make a decision from there. But the no post no show, as they say in World of Warcraft, is infuriating.
I agree. All right, well, everybody have a good rest of your night. We will continue. Hey, at least we got Pebble's token fixed, so and now TBC week is this week, and I don't have to prep anything. So
I have a idea to make our time not completely wasted. Those of us who showed up can get inspiration.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Oh,
and level up. No.
That's a win.
I was about to ask, do we level up?
Oh man, wouldn't that be shit? No, you do not level up.
Really stick it to him.
Permanently a level higher than the rest of the party. Fuck yeah. All right. Well, I shall see you guys next week at the latest.
Yes. I at first was like, I kind of want to take off next week for TBC, but with missing this session, and also I'm going really hard on like Tuesday and Wednesday, so a break will be nice. So we will play on Sunday as planned.
Remember to sleep.
I will sleep before the session. That is guaranteed. Yes.
No, I think it's one of those don't die playing WoW remarks. Don't literally die playing WoW remarks.
Yeah, you lived through COVID, man. Don't die in the Burning Crusade.
All right. Well, hey, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for showing up and playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace.
That said, Jimmy.
Yes.
I'm not really feeling Total War Warhammer, but if you want to do something,
sure, why not? All right. Well, there's no D&D tonight. Sorry, folks. Be back next week. Bye bye. Are we Warhammering that? What are